His Tongan prop Chris Satai has signed a new contract until 2023. Satai, who's 28 and is in his second full season with the Black and Whites after moving from the New Zealand Warriors midway through the 2019 Super League campaign.
Tom Andrews said, I've seen places get shut down by environmental health for having satays that were around too long. But Joshua's granddad said, excellent news, man is a beast and will only get better. Do you know, I'm going to slightly disagree with John there in that I'm not sure how he can get better the way he's playing at the moment. He's been outstanding now, probably for 6 weeks or so. Arguably becoming the best front rower in the league at the moment. Certainly one of the best 2 or 3. So I think it's great business for Hull FC to tie him down whilst they've got him in this sort of shape and form, and hopefully it does continue for him because he's going well.
Yeah, I mean he's been devastating at times, and I think if he can carry that on, he's a shrewd re-signing.
Where to next? Back to Castleford. Castleford have announced that Academy product Jax O'Neill has signed a 2-year contract extension, keeping it at the club until the end of the 2023 season. The 22-year-old is a product of the Tigers youth system, coming through both the scholarship and academy programmes before making his senior Super League debut in 2019. I think this is the re-signing that a lot of Castleford fans will be looking for, a young player who's only going in the right direction, I think.
Yeah, that's someone you can start to build things around as he develops.
Yep. And it shows the right sort of intention for me. You know, when you've got young players coming through, you need to re-sign your best ones for, you know, the peak years of their career, and hopefully they'll be able to do that with Jax O'Neill.
Yep. So, are we moving into the Championship?
No, we've still got we've got fuckloads to go yet. We're into the EFC rumour hour now. So we've got Wakefield Trinity have reportedly completed the signing of Huddersfield Giants halfback Lee Gaskell, according to Rugby League Live. Gaskell, who's 30, is understood to have signed for next year and will bring an end to his 5-year spell with the Giants after arriving from Bradford in 2017. We wouldn't have talked about this yet until it was confirmed, so we'll talk about it again, I'm sure. But EFC 78JU wanted us to talk about it. He said, was not the news any Giants fan want to hear about their 30-year-old Lee Gaskell. They may want to replace him, but on the other half of it, he might not be replaceable. He was some player for the Cowbells. He even got a try on the Holywell Jones turf before this was announced that his contract was set to expire at the club. Yeah, they love signing fullbacks. I guess they're going to play him at halfback when he's in their squad, but last time I saw Lee Gaskell play at Wakefield was when he was at Bradford and did his knee. I'm surprised he wants to play week in, week out on that pitch after that, but
yeah, I remember that.
Good luck to him if that's where he's ending up. And Rugby League Live reported that Sean Wayne appears to be on his way back to Wigan after opening discussions with the club about a return to the club, but Wayne will not be returning to head coach, the rumours are suggesting. It'll be more some sort of head of rugby type position where he'll oversee operational duties such as recruitment, on-field matters, and, you know, coaching, arrange agreements and that sort of stuff. So it'd be overseeing the performance, so it'd kind of be a bit more like his role with Scotland RL that he had, but Scotland RU, sorry, that he had, but on a more permanent basis. And EFC 78JU said Adrian Lamb might be leaving Wigan after replacing Sean Wayne in 2020. If he does, Sean Wayne might be returning to Wigan after the Rugby League World Cup. He is in with England at home, but if it's Wire versus Wigan or Saints versus Wigan, we need to go hard on Wayne's Wigan men in the grand final to stop him winning another Super League trophy at Old Trafford if it's still there. One thing I'm worried about there is, where's Old Trafford going?
Yeah, is it on wheels?
He means if the grand final's still there. I'm only messing with him. But yeah, technically, if he's not going to be the head coach, then Adrian Lamb could keep his job. Adrian Lamb, people like to speculate about Adrian Lamb's contract. Adrian Lamb's on a rolling contract, so which is what he asked the club to have, because basically I think he doesn't know until he knows that he can't live away from his family anymore, sort of thing. I think is where Lamb's at with with things. He doesn't want to be tied into the UK because there's lots of reasons why he might want to go back.
When a cushy NRL assistant post comes up that he wants.
There's an element of that as well, but I wouldn't blame him either, to be honest. So I think everyone who wants to build such a picture around that kind of, but it probably is Lamb's last year at Wigan. But they're all rumours, speculation, and all that sort of stuff. So let's move into the Championship.
Yeah, Dewsbury have announced the signings of Don Speakman and Robson Stevens. Sounds like a 90s pop star, doesn't he? Remainder of the 2021 season. Speakman, who's 27, returns to the Rams, having previously played for the club over 2 spells. Stevens joins Dewsbury on loan from Super League outfit Huddersfield. To add in, actually, on the Dewsbury front is they've got one going out the door at the same time. Brad Clavering has left Dewsbury and is on his way back to the Coventry Bears, where he played for 3 appearances in 2020.
Fair enough. Lee prop Tom Spencer has returned to the Championship side Swinton on an initial 2-week loan. Spencer, who's 30, returns for his second spell under Stuart Littler this season, having originally been at the Lions in March on a short-term loan deal.
Would have been dual reg if it existed.
Basically.
Featherstone have announced the signing of Perry Whiteley from Championship. You don't see enough people called Perry these days, do you? From Championship rivals York on a short-term loan deal. The deal sees Jake Sweeting go the other way and join the Knights.
No, because the person isn't Perry from Little Mix, isn't that a thing?
That's with an I.
Yeah, but that's the famous Perry.
We've got
Matthew.
Perry Groves, the one from EastEnders.
York have also announced the loan signings of Jamie Ellis and Tyler Heppy. Ellis, who's 31. How's he only 31?
He's not 31.
He's not 31.
That skin has been on this planet for more than 31 years.
He joins a Championship club from Lee on a 2-week loan deal, which will then be reviewed week by week, depending on whether he likes the food over there, I guess. I don't know. Heppy, who's 28, also joins on a 2-week loan deal from Castleford. So lots of loan movements going on. Shall we get into some loan movements in the League One end of things? You've already kind of talked us through one League One story, but do you want to talk us through another?
Yeah, League One side North Wales Crusaders have announced the signings of Connor Aspey and Ethan O'Hanlon on loan. Aspey, who's 19, joins from Super League club Salford on an initial 2-week loan and could feature in the Welsh Derby over the weekend. That was this weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, yeah, it was, yeah.
As Anthony Murray's side travelled to the West Wales Raiders. O'Hanlon, who's 20, joins from Bradford, having come through the club's soon-to-be-defunct academy system.
No, they've still got an academy system, it's just not elite anymore.
Oh, right.
Former England international and 2011 Man of Steel Rangi Chase has been released by League One club West Wales Raiders 3 months into his contract. The 35-year-old former Cass, Salford and Widnes halfback joined the Llanelli club along with former Rugby Union fly half Gavin Henson ahead of the 2021 season, and after making the move to live in South Wales was appointed as captain. But obviously being a distance away from his family and stuff hasn't worked out for Rangi, so he's back up to the north of England, where Rochdale, fellow League One side Rochdale, have announced the signing of Rangi Chase following his release from the Raiders. So and he could make his debut this Sunday as the Hornets host North Wales Crusaders. So it could be the last game that his former club had when he was under contract there. But he didn't play that, did he? Because he was playing for Castleford's PDRL side. But yeah, Rangi Chase out of Wales, back in England. Apparently, Gavin Henson will be back fit for selection. It turns out he played most of that game against Widnes on the old red button with a broken hand or something.
Gosh.
Gavin Henson? Yeah.
Ever since, well, it's not stopped him pulling pints and waiting tables, so that's all right.
No, COVID stopped that.
Yeah. and Wales international forward Joe Burke has taken over the Raiders captaincy, and Jamie Murphy has moved into Chase's playmaking role. But yeah, Henson close to making it. It's a shame for the Raiders because they had such fanfare and media interest at the beginning of the year for that half-back pairing, and they've got a grand total of 7 appearances out of a pair of them.
Yeah, and they didn't quite get that kick onto that level where they might get a win that'll then possibly would have started some momentum, helped them develop some consistency from that momentum, but it just hasn't happened, and he's now with Rochdale. Sticking with Rochdale, winger Dale Bloomfield has announced his retirement from the sport. Bloomfield, who's 33, returned to the Crown Oil Arena for his 3rd stint with the club ahead of the 2020 season. He's part of the club's historic 2016 League One playoff winning side in Toulouse, and has also featured for Oldham, North Wales Crusaders and Hunslet. So happy retirement to Dale Bloomfield. We'll talk about the women's game now. These are the today stories, Tim, so they won't be in your rundown, but they're in my rundown. Women's Challenge Cup winning head coach Derek Hardman has become the final person at St Helens to be involved in the England women's coaching staff as assistant coach ahead of next week's National Lottery mid-season international against Wales. Hardman will join former England international Lindsay Anfield, who was the opposing head coach in the Challenge Cup final, as an assistant coach, while Adam Cuthbertson will leave the programme to focus on his playing commitments with York City Knights. So,
who shares with bloke joins bloke who he shares an office with.
To coach all the players that they already coach. But they needed to bring someone in if Cuthbertson was stepping out. You can understand maybe some of Cuthbertson's reasons because he's now taken on that role at York whilst doing isn't he doing like a degree or something and starting a new job in the life after Rugby League whilst playing still in the Championship. So he had a lot on his plate. You can understand that call.
It's probably also a COVID bubble related thing. He probably couldn't join the England bubble and then expect to play with York at the weekend. So I imagine there's probably some COVID protocol bit that's got in the way there as well.
But it seems longer term than that as well. It seems, because it says he'll leave the programme rather than just not being involved this week. So we shall see. But more interesting to talk about is the England women's squad. So taken from the BBC website, Wigan Warriors loose forward Vicky Molyneux has been recalled to the England side for Friday's international against Wales and could earn her first cap for 14 years. Molyneux, who's now 33, Jamie Ellis is only 31 and Vicky Molyneux's 33. I tell you which one looks younger.
If Vicky Molyneux was 23, I wouldn't have.
Nope.
Just believed you.
She last featured for England in a victory against France back in 2007. So she was a teenager last time she played for England. She has been named in Craig Richards' 19-player squad that includes 5 potential England debutants. Teenagers Fran Goldthorpe, Emma Lumley and Holly Dodd are among the uncapped quintet. Women's Challenge Cup winning St Helens duo Beth Starr and Paige Travis could also be in line to make their international debuts at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. The squad in full is Emily Rudge of St Helens, who is of course the captain, Caitlin Beavers of Leeds Rhinos, Chantal Crowell and Jodie Cunningham of St Helens, Holly Dodd of Cass, Grace Field, Kelsey Gentles of York, Fran Goldthorpe, who's of Leeds, Amy Hardcastle, another from the Saints side, Shona Hoyle from Cass, Tara Jones from St Helens, Emma Lumley from Cass, Vicky Molyneux from Wigan, Carrie Roberts, one of the a number of St Helens standouts from the Challenge Cup final, Georgia Roach from the Castleford Tigers, former Woman of Steel, Beth Stott from St Helens, Tara Stanley from Castleford Tigers, Paige Travis from St Helens, and finally, last but not least, Georgia Wilson from the Wigan Warriors. So, do you have any hot takes on this squad? Because I feel like there's names missing out there, but at the same time, I think it's got a lot of the big names in there.
I feel there's a lot of names missing in this squad. I don't know how much is they've decided to try and throw some combinations around because they know that the Wales squad aren't going to be anyway. No disrespect to them, aren't going to be anywhere near the same level of quality. So are they looking to test out some things, experiment a few things,